How is everyone doing today? I'm Wooly, the crazy license plate guy. I was flipping through YouTube and I found Halloween Havoc, WCW, 1989. So I figured, what the heck? Let's watch it. Do a little wrestling review while we're at it. Started off with some little cartoon graphic showing Ric Flair and Sting and people on headstones. None of them yet, but that's what it's showing. And the first match of the night, we had the Z-Man, Tommy Boy, something like that. But the Z-Man, it's pretty jacked. I don't know whatever happened to this guy, but he was pretty good here. Facing Mike Rotundo, Bray Wyatt's dad, IRS, Captain Mike Rotundo, they called him. This is a pretty good opening match. Exactly what you'd expect to see in 1989. Some catch-style wrestling. The heel getting the victory. Well, he didn't get the victory, but he was stomping him almost the whole way through. At the last second, the Z-Man reverses a crossbody. 1, 2, 3, sneaks the pin in there. It was a real lame finish, but it's exactly what you'd expect from 1989. The heel stomping him the whole match. The face getting the victory at the end. The crowd cheers. Ah! So that's the first match. Halloween Havoc, 1989. I've never watched this event before, so it should be a good show. A good surprise and see what's happening. And then we'll see how many more Halloween Havocs we can find on YouTube. I don't think there's too many out there. Why isn't WCW on Netflix with all the other WWE content? Anyone? Any answers? Huh? Okay, let's go see what's happening next in WCW. Woo! I totally forgot to mention. Did you see the ref of that match? It was a young studly looking Nick Patrick. He really was in WCW for the long haul. Nick Patrick, 1989, all the way till its close in 2001. Whew. That's a good stint. Like 12 years. Doesn't seem that long when you say it, but I was really surprised to see that. And next up, we're interviewing Bruno Sammartino. He was like, I hate Vince McMahon. I'm going to WCW. I will show you all. And destroy his legacy. Well, not really, but why'd you go to WCW? Okay, let's see what's next. Woo! Next up for Halloween Havoc, 1989. It's a long time ago. I was like 4 or 5 years old. I was little. 6-man tag action. We got Jim Cornette coming out with the Midnight Express and Dr. Death Steve Williams. They seem to be the fan favorites. And out next, I forgot these guys even wrestled in WCW, the Samoan SWAT team, later known as the Head Shrinkers in WWE. Fatu and Samu. You guys all know Fatu, right? Rikishi. Jay and Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa's dad. And who was their partner, you ask? The Samoan Savage, the Tonga Kid. None other than Jacob Fatu's dad. Now that's a team. The Samoans were wreaking havoc all the way back that long ago. I know Afa and Sika, they dominated the 70s. Looks like the Samoan SWAT team started in the late 80s. Continued in the 90s as the Head Shrinkers. But it was a pretty good match. A lot of hard-hitting action. A lot of good moves. A lot of face smashing. And just when you thought, whatever their names were, the Midnight Express, were going to get the win, they run into their own manager, Jim Cornette, and that little tennis racket. Knocked him out. Samoan Savage gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. The winners. The Samoans. The Samoan SWAT team and the Samoan Savage. The Bloodline. They've been going a long time. A long time indeed. It was a very awesome match. We're only getting started. There's still like 2 hours left of this pay-per-view. Let's go. WCW Halloween Havoc 1989. What do you think's next? Well, I'm going to find out. Woo! We just went backstage for an interview. We got manager Gary Hart and his wrestler, half of the tag team for the main event tonight, Terry Funk. And they're wrestling in the Thunderdome, the electrified 10,000 watts. It's going to be wild. He's talking about fried chicken. He's going to cook Ric Flair on the cage. Ric Flair and Sting, you guys don't stand a chance. Terry Funk is looking jacked. He's going to whoop some ass tonight. Electrified cage, the Thunderdome. Sounds interesting. Mad Max style. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Woo! Everything about that screamed the popcorn match. Cuban Assassin versus Wildfire Tommy Rich. It was just like a wrestling clinic. They did all the moves. I never really heard of either of these guys. I've heard of them in passing, but I wasn't a WCW guy, especially in the late 80s, early 90s. So, I don't know who these guys are. The match was just like a wrestling clinic. They did a whole bunch of moves. And then Tommy Rich won with... they call it a Lou Thez press, but he just like dropped his crotch on the guy's chin and pinned him 1, 2, 3. It was like the lamest, gayest looking wrestling finish I've seen. That match sucked. There was some like good moves, like if you wanted to learn basic wrestling, but crowd booed. No one was into it. We better get on to something a little better. Just saying. The Cubano Assassin didn't have what it takes to beat Tommy Rich. Woo! More tag team action. We got the WCW tag team title on the line. There only seems to be one belt for some reason. You know, a tag team should have 2 belts. But the champs, the fabulous Freebirds, Michael Hayes and Ronnie Garvin. Maybe. Something like that. They did pretty good. They fought the Dynamic Dudes with Jim Cornette. Shane Douglas and Johnny Ace. You know what Johnny Ace is, right? John Laurinaitis. Hey, Vince, you got some big arms. You all know Johnny Ace, right? Well, here he's like 12 years old, bleach blonde hair. One of the Dynamic Dudes. They're riding their skateboards around. They're dressed like it's 1991. But they suck. They got beat. Shane Douglas is a good wrestler, but they got beat. The Freebirds just stomped all over him. You can't beat Michael Hayes and Garvin. Is it Ronnie Garvin? Sounds wrong to me. I don't know. Who knows? Not me. But the Freebirds whooping ass. still tag team champion with that single belt. The dynamic dudes, they're mad. They don't know what happened. So hopefully the next match is better because that one sucked. So let's see what's happening. Halloween Havoc, 1989, WCW. Woo! We're backstage again, this time interviewing the tag team of the Steiner brothers, Scott and Rick. Way at the start, Scott still has long brown hair, not that bleach blonde buzz cut that we're all familiar with. And Rick Steiner, he seems to be the crazy one, just... They're wrestling Doom tonight. You all know who Rick Steiner is, right? It's Braun Breaker's daddy, Braun. Yeah. So he comes from some good wrestling DNA as well. The Steiners versus Doom. Should be a good match. Coming up, possibly next. We'll see. Woo! The Steiner brothers in action against Doom. It's a pretty good match. Seen Frankensteiner in the middle of the ring, and they barely acknowledged it. But them guys were awesome, even back in 1989. They're fighting Doom. Doom's got their masks on. I believe it's Ron Simmons and Butch Reed, but I could be wrong. But they're all masked up. They got Woman as their manager, Nancy Benoit, Nancy whoever at that point. It was a pretty good match. In the end, Doom number one, as Jim Ross was calling him, slid something in his mask. Whammo! Knocked out. 1, 2, 3. Doom is victorious. That's how it went down. Steiner's lost. Poor Ricky boy. 1, 2, 3 in the ring. Not off to a great start. His son Braun, he's going to rule the whole world. Just say it, Braun Breaker. It's amazing. But Rick and Scott, they're just at the start here. 4 and 5 years into wrestling, the announcer said. They haven't won their tag team gold yet. They haven't went on to win WCW middleweight and heavyweight gold. But it'll all happen soon. This is Halloween Havoc. 1989. Forever ago. And we still got a few matches to go. So keep watching. Hit that like and subscribe button like I keep saying. And I'm going back to watch more. Woo! Time for the United States title. Champion Lex Luger versus Flying Brian Pillman. It was a pretty good match. Luger dominated most of it. He's just like jacked right up. Roids to 110 degrees. But Pillman kept getting breakaways, flying through the air, armbar takedowns, holding him in some submissions. They went a good distance, good length. in the ring, out the ring, all over the place. In the end, though, Pillman just didn't have what it took. Luger I can't talk. What's going on? Luger took him out with a clothesline, smashed him down to the ring, and 1, 2, 3. Still United States champion, Lex Luger, the total package. Halloween Havoc, 1989. There's a lot of stars on here. Stars to be born in the wrestling world. I'm liking it. WCW, all kinds of surprises. Nothing I ever seen before, which is awesome. And we still got an electrified cage match coming up, the Thunderdome. Lex Luger, still United States champion. I'm going to see what's happening next. Woo! More tag team action. We got the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, faces painted, spiky shoulder pads, all intense. Versus the Skyscrapers. Sid Justice or Sid Vicious or whatever he goes by here. And Dan Spivey. So 2 like 7 foot tall blonde dudes with mullets. And the Road Warriors. It was just like a test of pure strength. Everyone's hitting everyone and no one's moving. Who can hit harder? That's all it was. Back and forth. A lot of stalemate. A few hits in. A few moves. Blah, 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 blah. In the end, the Skyscrapers just couldn't handle it. They pulled this big, giant metal key. Started smashing everyone with it and they got disqualified. So your winners, because of disqualification, the Road Warriors. So that can only mean it's leading up to another match. Still unpinned the Skyscrapers in 1989. They probably didn't have a rematch though, because Sid probably had like baseball or something to go to. But Road Warriors are your winners. Tag team match. I don't know if there's 1 or 2 matches left on this pay-per-view, but this pay-per-view's been pretty awesome. Halloween Havoc, 1989. I hope you guys found it on YouTube and are enjoying the show too. Watch all my videos. Hit that subscribe button. And let's go see what's happening next. Woo! The main event. It's time for the Thunderdome. Ric Flair and Sting. With Ole Anderson in their corner. Versus the Great Muta and Terry Funk. It was a crazy match. This thing was like as big as a Hell in a Cell, but it didn't have a roof. A little bit of an angled roof, like angled top to it, but they said it was electrified. It started a little fire. Other than that, we didn't see any fireworks or sparks or nothing. There was cobwebs and trees and all kinds of hauntedness hanging off it, but that's all it was. Just this big, ginormous cage. It looked like the old Blue style with the big square holes, but massive. The Thunderdome. Think we'll ever see the Thunderdome again? I don't. They had a rope swing in there. Sting was swinging around like a monkey, kicking people. Did some crazy dive from as far up the cage as he could into the ring. So like one of the first ones to do something nuts like that other than Superfly Snuka. They had Bruno Sammartino as the ref too. It's kind of weird. I thought of him as like a WWF guy the whole way through. But in the end, Ric Flair and Sting won. The other guy's manager, Gary Hart, threw in the towel. Only way to win. There was no DQ. And your manager had to throw in the towel. But they were doing like tag team rules at first. And then finally they all just started fighting each other and threw out the tag team rules. Kind of weird rules to it, but that's what it is. Halloween Havoc, 1989. WCW. It was a pretty good pay-per-view. It's on YouTube for anyone that wants to watch it. Go check it out, but I very much enjoyed the show. There's a lot of great matches. A lot of wrestlers that become huge superstars after the fact. Some that were kind of dying out while they were there. WCW, Halloween Havoc. I think 1993 is on YouTube too, so we might try and watch that in a couple days. I know I always say we're going to watch another one and we don't, so if it happens, it happens. But I'm Wooly the Crazy License Plate Guy. Have an awesome day, awesome week, awesome year. Find some cool stuff. Watch some wrestling. Do whatever you want. Don't blink. And most importantly, it's your life. Make your own choices. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out of here. Woo!